This is the story of our nation's 25th president. Trumpty Dumpty wanted a wall. He wanted it big and he wanted it tall. He had a fun job on TV being mean, while part-time assaulting girls as young as 13. But Trumpty had some extra anger up pent, so he decided to run for president. He appealed to some voters' racist views and said he'd ban Muslims. At least this time it's not Jews. He ranted and raged about things he would do, decree stop and frisk the ideal, bomb a country or two. And all the Republican white-aged men couldn't put Trumpty's policy together again. So Trumpty Dumpty fell in the polls. His bigoted policy was full of holes. When his opponent destroyed him with substance and flair, Trumpty cried it was rigged and completely unfair. Russian hackers backed him because he promised to sack NATO, although the same effect could be achieved by a bigoted tomato. But despite Trumpty Dumpty's many outbursts and fails, many voters still focused on his opponent's emails. Just when it looked like Trumpty would fall on his rump, the votes came in and declared him President Dump. So Trumpty Dumpty sat on his wall and maintained that Mexico would pay for it all. He got a new wife, a little bit hotter, although he'd rather be dating his daughter. When the wall started to shake and Trumpty heard a rumble, for the concrete had begun to crumble. It was already cracked as it failed to dry, but then he heard a shout and a cry. Trumpty looked down as he heard the sound of people coming to tear the thing down. They said, "Look here, Mr. Dump, you act with impunity. We here are the entire international community." Of course, Mother Russia was not there, but either way, Trumpty Dump did not care. He said, "Whatever, you're barely a 4. And besides, my wall has a beautiful door." We'll assume the mob handled Putin's military and did not end up starting World War III. Trumpty started to fall as more crowds came up the roads, and his tiny hands dropped the nuclear launch codes. He said as he fell, "I'm too rich for this!" And he tumbled down into the no man's abyss. Then he entered the jaws of a waiting alligator and finally made America that little bit greater.